Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're tackling a skill that's honestly a total game changer. It's about turning that moment of sheer panic when you're totally lost into a moment of, believe it or not, connection and confidence. We're going to get you navigating like a pro.
You know that feeling, right? That little jolt in your stomach when every street suddenly looks the same and you have absolutely no clue which way is up? We've all been there. But the good news is there's a simple, powerful way to get a handle on it.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with that I'm lost feeling and talk about why this skill really matters. Then we'll dive right into the nitty-gritty of how to ask for help and how to give it. After that, we'll stock up your directional toolkit, go over some common mistakes and cultural tips, and finally, wrap it all up so you can walk into any new place feeling totally sure of yourself.
All right, first things first, let's really get into the why behind all this. Because mastering directions is about so much more than just getting from point A to point B.
See, this is where we need to completely reframe how we think about asking for directions. It's not a weakness, it's basically a superpower. Yeah, of course, it saves you time. But it also opens up these little windows for genuine connection with people who actually live there. It builds up your confidence for when things don't go as planned and just takes a huge load of stress off your shoulders.
Okay, now for the practical stuff, the how-to. Think of this section as your playbook for asking for help without any confusion.
Honestly, it all just boils down to these 4 super simple steps. 1. Be polite. A quick "excuse me" goes a long way. 2. Be really clear about what you're looking for. 3. And this is a big one, you gotta listen carefully. Don't be shy about asking them to repeat something. And 4. Keep your language simple. No need for complicated sentences. Just remember, polite, clear, listen, and simple. That's the magic formula.
So, here's what that looks like in the real world. You start polite, "Excuse me." Then you're super clear about what you need, the nearest bank. It's direct, it's respectful, and it gets straight to the point. This is pretty much the perfect way to ask for help when you're out and about.
And the same idea works just as well when you're indoors, say in a mall or an office building. You can even be a little more casual. A simple, "Hi, where's the restroom?" is perfect. It's fast, it's clear, it's polite. You're saying exactly what you need. It just works every time.
Okay, now let's flip the script, because being able to give good directions is just as empowering as asking for them. This is your chance to be that helpful person, that confident local.
And guess what? Giving great directions uses the same core ideas. You have to be specific. Don't just vaguely point. Use landmarks, street names, anything that gives a clear visual. Use simple words they'll actually understand. And maybe most important of all, be patient. Remember, they're the one who's lost, so a little patience can make a world of difference. This is just a fantastic example of what I mean by specific. Notice it doesn't just say turn right, it gives a really solid landmark. A gas station, that's a great anchor point. And then it even adds a specific distance, about 500 meters, so the person knows what to expect. This is how you give directions that actually help.
Now, to ask for and give directions like a pro, you're going to need the right tools. So, this section is basically your quick reference guide, your cheat sheet for the language of navigation.
Seriously, think of this as your cheat sheet. On the left, you've got your core moves, left, right, straight ahead. And on the right, you've got your landmarks, the visual cues that make directions real, Things like a traffic light, a gas station, a park. The secret sauce is just combining these two things. That's how you understand and give great directions.
And here are some ready-to-go phrases you can just stick in your back pocket. You've got your openers, like, "Excuse me, can you help me?" You've got your specific questions, like, "How far is?" And you've got the really important clarifying questions, like, "Could you repeat that, please?" Or, my personal favorite, "Can you show me on the map?"
Okay, so you've got the fundamentals down. Now it's time to really level up your skills. This part is all about dodging the common mistakes and navigating with a little bit of cultural awareness.
Let me tell you, the single biggest mistake anyone can make, asking or giving, is being vague. That lazy point with an "it's somewhere over there," that's totally useless. Now compare that to the example on the right. That is actual information somebody can use. You always want to aim for that level of clarity.
So just to run through those common slip-ups again, not really listening, being vague, forgetting to say thank you, which is just basic manners, and completely ignoring those super important landmarks. If you can avoid these 4 things, you are way ahead of the curve. And remember, context is king. In some cultures, pointing with a finger is actually considered pretty rude, so it's better to use an open hand. And it pays to do a tiny bit of homework. Like in Tokyo, a lot of streets don't even have names, so people give directions using landmarks. But you know what's universal? A polite greeting.
That works everywhere.
All right, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's bring this all home with the final big takeaway.
You know, when you boil it all down, here's what it's really about. Learning to ask for and give directions isn't just some practical skill for traveling. It's about giving yourself the power to step into a new place with confidence. It's about creating these small, positive moments of human connection, one "excuse me" at a time.
So I'm going to leave you with this question. When you have this skill in your back pocket, you're not just ready to find a museum or a restaurant, you're ready to actually explore. You're ready to connect. So where will your new confidence take you?